Hello, welcome to your December end of the year readings. This video will be split into two parts, a reflection and a forecast. The first part will be a reflection of 2016 and how it has impacted you as a whole, and the second part will be focusing on what is ahead for the month of December. Reflection is an important part of our lives because even in tarot, hindsight is always 2020. Actually, drawing a card in the morning and seeing how it played out by the end of the day can show how the card was relevant, but may have expressed itself in a different way than you had anticipated, which is a great tool, by the way, for learning tarot prediction and getting familiar with how many ways a single card can be read. Anyway, 2016 was the year of the Yang fire monkey, and I have my little friend here who visually represents that energy. Yang energy is masculine, it's outwardly extroverted, it's dynamic and bold. Fire energy is passionate and enterprising. So Yang fire is like the heat of the sun. It has lots of energy and it radiates to other people in forms of optimism, generosity, and warmth. Its popularity may have been a year for big personalities and or big egos to shine. So this year we would have seen things politically and socially to reflect this, and it would also have drawn out these characteristics in our personal lives as well. Monkey energy acts similarly to Yang fire. It is quick, clever, social, busy, cheerful, and playful, impulsive, and again, it's independent. I really wouldn't be surprised if many of you watching had taken up several new hobbies, several new studies, joined multiple social groups, made many new acquaintances, expanded your business in some way, broadened your talents and interests, or possibly moved, because Yang fire monkey doesn't sit still for long. And just like the monkey, you could have been bouncing around from one thing to the next with both of your hands in many pots at once. So for the moments of reflection reading, I am going to ask, what is the biggest lesson for you? What was the highlight? What was the biggest challenge? And how did you grow this year? And then finally, I'm going to ask, what lesson will you take with you into 2017? Hello, Scorpio. For your 2016 reflection reading, I will be drawing cards from the Archangel Power Tarot deck. As I focus in on your energy, Scorpio, I will think of the biggest lesson for you for 2016, what the biggest highlight was for you for 2016, what was the biggest challenge, how did you grow, and what lesson will you be taking with you into 2017? Yes, Scorpios. Okay. Okay. So the biggest lesson for you, Scorpios, again, is worry. Okay, so the 9 of Swords is like, beyond the would'ves, could'ves, should'ves. It is the things that are just not in your control. And this is the biggest lesson for you, is to let this go. Okay, so I'm seeing you needing to find some sort of hope or solace in your wisdom, okay? And I do see the biggest lesson for you on a very mundane, smaller level. A lot of you could have had sleep issues because this person is up at night, okay? But he's up at night because he's letting things bother him. So that is the biggest lesson for you, is not letting things get to you. Okay, it says your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. That definitely sticks out strongly to me is the regret and the guilt. Okay, so this is stuff having to do with the past. So there could be something where you're like beating yourself up for, I wish I would have done it differently. I wish I could have, or if I had only known, or maybe I should, if I had another chance, that sort of thing. So that was the biggest lesson for you, is like letting go of the guilt and the regret, okay? Because it's happened. You had to go through it in order to learn, in order to grow, and to know, okay? Whatever that may be, whatever that situation is, that was your biggest lesson. Okay, the biggest highlight for you is like a soul growth, soul journey, letting things go. Okay, so this is like ultimate like detachment. I feel like some of you really like weathered the hardships of life on your own, and you were strengthened because of it. You found like how tough you could be. There is some resolve that you have dug up from under you, and you know how tough you are now. The biggest highlight for you, the Five of Pentacles isn't generally like a highlighted card, but I am seeing like there is like spiritual group of support. This is a church behind this angel. Okay, so you do have like spiritual help. Could be a spiritual group that it was there for you during like a really hard time of loss, something that you've gone through. And I see there's some sort of like church or some sort of organization that is spiritual or philosophical in nature that has helped you. And that was like a light in the storm. Okay, so that was the brightest challenge for you, knowing that you have that security there. Okay, but I do feel like you learned that you have grit this year to really make it through and just tough it out, and you really showed what you were made of. The biggest challenge for you was the 10 of Pentacles. So I would normally say that I would feel like this would be the biggest highlight and this would be the biggest challenge, but there's a reason that they came out in this order, okay? Nothing is by accident. I feel like the biggest challenge for you was the group, okay? It was the family. Maybe family pressures were very hard for you this year financially, or just in the responsibilities that were demanded of you. Okay, I see there's like a group here. Could be your social peer group. Maybe you felt left out at some periods in time, but ended up being the highlight because you were able to really bond with yourself in a way that is really special. Okay, there's always going to be people around you in this world. Okay, there's always going to be opportunities to be social and have friends, acquaintances, be around family, but the time that you spend with you is very precious as well. And that's just the general sense that I'm getting. And I'm sorry, I should have read the bottom of these as well. So it says, you needn't go through your current challenges alone. Help is nearby. Negative thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies. Okay, so that was the biggest highlight for you, is knowing that you're not alone. The biggest challenge for you, I'll read the bottom. There is so very much to be grateful for: financial success and the promise of retirement, a rich and rewarding family life. I am getting the family and I'm getting the finances. So this could have been a hard year. Okay, so how did you grow? You completely changed. Okay, you could have relocated with the wheel. Is like a big positive change forward. This is a major arcana card. This is fate and destiny. Life is pushing you forward. Where you feel like you're being pushed up against the wall, you're pushing back to show like, I am moving forward. And I see you like, honestly, like the vision I'm getting is you rolling like a ball up the hill, but once you get to the top, you see how much strength you have and you persevered. Okay, so how did you grow? Is that you persevered. This also says new beginnings, end of delays, a change in direction that offers happiness. Again, I feel like some of you changed directions, where something was no longer working for you and you decided, I'm going to make a big change. I'm going to cut out some things in my life or some people in my life that are weighing me down. Okay. So this was a year of big change for you. You could have moved again. Like I said, this is a card of relocation. The wheel is here is moving. So you're reinventing the wheel, so to speak, in a way that works for you. Okay, so what lesson you will take with you into 2017 is a renewed sense of faith and optimism, okay? Trusting your guides, trusting your angels around you, trusting the people that are helpful to you. But I do see this as like a self-reliance. The Page of Wands in this deck is the Page of Gabriel. Is about messages, about news coming in. There could be some exciting news that really moves you forward, okay? An opportunity that you had hoped for and longed for. It looks like it was a difficult year for a lot of you Scorpios out there, and this is like the only fire that I'm seeing in your reading, which is like something exciting that's going to happen at the end of the year that you're going to bring in with you to 2017. I feel like this is like a golden opportunity, something that you've waited for, and you may have suffered somewhat, at the hands of fate and destiny in order for you to grow. But it's like the universe realizes like you've passed this test, you're moving forward, and it's going to be somehow rewarding you with an easier, happier movement forward. Okay. So this is what I'm getting for you for just overall 2017 or 2016. Let's put these here. Here. Okay, so I'm going to move on to your December monthly reading, and I'm using the Wheel of Change tarot deck. Select your cards, Scorpio, and then I'm going to be pulling a message card that is simple and profound about love. Okay, so show me the cards for Scorpio's December. Okay. So the center card is your focus, the bottom card is the foundation, the past, what your thoughts are, and the future, and what you're going to be bringing into actually this is not necessarily what you're going to be bringing into, sorry, that was the last reading, but this is the shadow card, which will give me like an overall picture of this. So right now, in December, you have the Lovers card, okay? This can be partnerships of a romantic nature, but this is traditionally like a big decision for you to make, something that you have to make. It's a choice to be made. Okay, so traditionally there's like, I think in the Oswald Wirth tarot deck, I want to say, there's a young man and he's standing between two women. So one has golden hair and one has brown hair. So he has to make a choice in love. Now some instances this can be a choice in love of picking one partner over the other, but it could just be whether a relationship is not as right for you or not, whether this is someone you wanted to get into a relationship with, or it could be a decision within your relationship or a decision in your life that may impact your relationship. So anyway, it has to do with choices with relationships. It also could be relationships don't necessarily have to be a romantic nature. It could be your family, it could be friends, but choices that will impact other people. I was kind of seeing choices that would impact the family in the other spread, but I am definitely seeing like a relationship, a partnership, a love partnership, making choices and what's right for you in love. Okay, if you cannot grow together with somebody, maybe it's time to walk away. or just communicate your needs in this relationship. So I feel like communication is going to be very important. Decisions and choices regarding relationship. And I do see a darker skinned woman and a lighter skinned woman, which reflects that theme of the choice between the two types of women. So I guess the story with the traditional story with the Lover's card is a choice between the sensible woman and the passionate woman. Okay. Two very good qualities, but very different. Okay. One not better the other than, oh, excuse me, one is not better than the other, but one may be more right for you at this time. So that could be an instance. Okay. So there is a choice to be made regarding a relationship. We'll see what that is. So the foundation is the Knight of Wands. Okay. I see a very stormy environment here. This is your surroundings, and it's like you're finding peace. I see there's some sort of ceremony that he's doing and with the chaos around him. So that would sort of reflect the spiritual group that I was seeing in the other reading. For the themes for 2016 are still very prevalent here in December. So again, the Knight of Wands is generally it's mutable fire. Mutable fire is Sagittarius. Sagittarius stands for beliefs. It can also stand for like higher education, religion, philosophy, that sort of thing, things of the higher mind. So I see there's some sort of like religious ceremony. Again, this could be like the journey of the soul, but it's also a card about truth. Being honest with yourself about a choice that you need to make on what is right for you. In the past, I have the Two of Cups. Again, so I feel like this is a romantic partnership. In some cases, it could be the family, so it could be like your spouse. But I'm also seeing like this is like, you know, maybe some of you are making a choice to commit to someone, or like if you are single and you're entering a relationship, this would be the time to commit to them. If you are in a relationship, I see a deepening of the commitment. Okay. So there is a choice on whether or not to do that. It's something to do with romance. Okay. So your thoughts are about passion. This is a card about pleasure. Okay. When I see this card paired with the Lovers and the Two of Cups, this to me is like a sexual card. Sexual gratification, any sort of gratification that brings you pleasure. Okay. It can mean other things in different contexts paired with different cards, but definitely with these two, there is something in your sex life that you are addressing. And I know that's very specific and maybe personal for a lot of you, but I'm seeing this theme very heavy with this. So you're thinking about what is satisfying you, communicating maybe to your partner about your needs being met physically. So there is that. There also is the Ten of Swords. Okay, so in the near future, it looks like there's an end of suffering. Okay. I'm going to be very honest. In some cases, this can be betrayal in a relationship. Okay, maybe there is a relationship that you know that maybe this person cheated on you in the past and maybe they didn't know that you knew, and you're deciding on what to do about that, and you're going to let it go. Okay, you're going to end the relationship. I see maybe some circumstances where there wasn't straying or there wasn't cheating, and you just you feel like maybe the two of you have outgrown each other. Okay, whatever it is, you're changing your mind, you're putting an end to the suffering. Maybe this has been like a long awaited thing. I am getting a very heavy relationship theme for you for December. I am seeing an end here. Shadow card is the Eight of Swords. Okay, so shattering. See this baseball. Baseball is also an innuendo. Sexual innuendos like getting to first base, second base, third base, the bat and the balls sort of thing. So there is, again, a heavy sexual theme with innuendo here, and I see there's something shattering here. This is also about truth. truth. Maybe someone is coming clean to you. Maybe you're coming clean to someone else. I see that there's a break. There's a decision that needs to be made. It's all very clear here that this has to do with a relationship that's going to change. Okay. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, for some of you, it doesn't have to be the end of a relationship. There could be some shocking truth that comes through that changes a certain aspect of how you relate to each other in your relationship. Maybe you're going to work things out, but you're going to end some certain habits or things or what have you. There's several different specifics on how this could play out, but I am seeing like the Eight of Swords is like needing to let yourself out of a situation where you feel like is constraining you, and taking the blindfold off, making a choice to move forward to free yourself. Okay, so I'm going to pull a message about love, since your spread here was definitely very relationship, love, sex themed, all of that. I'm going to pull one of these cards, and it's going to feel like it's applicable more so. Okay. It is better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. Okay. Do you see the 2 here? I do see the 2 cups here, which is like, you know, in the past there was like a marriage or a commitment, or a relationship. The loss is the 10 of Swords that I see here. It's like putting something to rest. If you have been suffering in silence for a while, or your partner has, there may be something that you need to talk about, and you're going to be honest with each other, okay? And ultimately, your thought is about your happiness. Okay, and maybe even your thoughts are about the other person's happiness as well. Okay, and in order to be happy, you need to separate from each other, at least for a while. Okay, so this is the message for you. It is better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. Okay, Scorpio, this was your December reading and your 2016 reflective reading as well. I wish you a happy solstice, a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. I wish you the best for the month ahead of December and for the year to follow. Thank you so much for watching.